Excellent.
I don't know if you guys all know, this is Rob Kehoe, our building inspector.
Hi, how's it going?
Good.
Yeah. He's our best.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from July's planning commission meeting.
I'll second.
So first item of business tonight is the property maintenance code. Again.
Well, we're still learning.
My fault, like, sent me the wrong one. And then when I was proofreading it for the council, I'm like, wait a minute. This is not the right one, where's the parts that, this isn't right, this isn't right, so then I dug and I found that one, and I'm like, okay. This is the one.
So this is the one,
All the red parts are what you had in originally, and they removed.
reading. Yeah, because this is the stuff. Like the exhaust vent thing. The. 3.9 where. The part that had been redacted about. It having to be stored on a driveway or in a structure. And there was a bunch of this stuff that had been. Redacted that was.
Yeah.
What had
Well, you got.
initiated this whole conversation anyway.
Pretty much.
I think last time we discussed it, the only real, we were gonna add everything back in, but change. The motor vehicle to include, lawnmowers. Trailers.
Yeah, we
Trailers.
were just gonna reword it so that it stated that those were. This is, instead of insinuating they were, we were gonna put the actual wording.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that has beer.
Yeah. pretty much.
Making that rolls.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dan has been on it for a couple months. A lot of them. Even my neighbor.
Yes, I'm of the opinion that, and I would make a motion that we send this back to council amending the motor vehicle to the language that we discussed the last meeting. I feel like planning commission put a lot of time and effort into this year and a half, 2 years ago, and we should at least allow it to go before council, hopefully get approved in its entirety to see if Dan can use this as an enforcement tool to get some of the blighted areas down.
Yep.
I'll second all that. All in favor? Aye. Nays? Motion carries. All right, second item of business tonight is our Q&A session for Rob about our rental housing inspection and some of the different things that we had talked about last month.
I kind of filled them in on, what you guys are looking at, and I also Jason had sent over the examples of checklists. And then I did some research on just what, what we have to do to actually, start the process of actually putting this into place. I know in here it kind of says go to the council first. And then planning commission will do it. Except. That's fine, but I also think we should have like. Something to bring to them of what we're gonna do, what the plan is, how far you wanna go with it, what.
Yeah.
So I can explain it to them, cause they're gonna go, okay. You know? So, I just thought I still would bring it here first. See what we can, kind of, I don't want you guys to have to work really hard on this and then tell the council, feel like, no, we don't want to do this. So I just thought, just a quick. Like, try and get through a checklist, maybe what you guys want to do. If that takes a couple months, that's fine. I just thought, asking Rob, getting a price on how much, it's gonna cost you and forces. That in kind of a checklist of what, you want to do. And then bring that to council and then they could say, okay, go ahead and do it. Or no.
So our goal with this is to put. A draft together of what something like this could look like and recommend that council review it.
Yep. And like Mike said, we would definitely have to reach out to an attorney. Have all this done. I'm anticipating we'll get a little bit of backlash. From these people that have owned houses here for a long time that. Never had anything like this. But who knows, you never know. But, he definitely highly suggested having an attorney look at anything we do. And an attorney that actually specializes. So. That will be another cost.
As of today, we have no master list, no comprehensive list of how many rentals are in town.
No, I.
It's not hard to come up with though.
No, I
Not
can
home
run,
care.
yeah, whatever, well. Yeah, but like, unless they're a pain,
So and then,
Living in.
well, I read it, but there's also another issue of non-homestead. I own a house here and one in Florida, my taxes there are way more, so I not homestead this one. Homestead Florida. But. You set it up with cut and dry, all non-homestead, and then let them come one at a time and say, here's my case, and sure, that makes sense,
Mhm.
that's your home.
yeah, I mean, we do have.
But because I own it and I rent it to my daughter, even if it's only $1 or a penny or whatever, it's a rental. I think, I mean, it's up to you guys.
The other. I don't have a ton of experience. I'm not from Laingsburg originally. So I don't know which houses are who's in them or what's going on. The impression I'm under based on a couple of conversations I've had that a number of the problem lighthouses we have are rentals.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I mean, I know of I know like off the top of my head which ones are rentals in town, just because of. You're my whole life. Sure, Greg does too. But. Yeah, I don't have that list, but we could get it, like we could pull it from our. This meeting.
Well, and I was just curious, because I mean, that may be. My thought was, we spent all this time on the property maintenance code, if some of. Our issues are rental homes, that we probably should have something in place to inspect those.
Yeah. It's such I mean, everything that I researched and stuff, it's. It's a wide range of what you can do, like, some people, some communities do like every year. Some communities, you get that first one, you don't do another one for 6 more years. I mean, it can be, it's all over the
I've
place.
seen 3,
Mhm.
Every 3 years you're inspected, they do a third of them every year.
Yeah,
So is that in like on a 3-year rotation? would that be in a larger municipality where doing an inspection every year wouldn't be feasible, or is it because it's not
Well, that, my
necessary?
very first question is, what we're discussing, we don't know the answer to, how many?
Yeah.
So if I find out that there's, how many homes are there total properties?
Oh, 7,
Probably close to 800.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, yeah, I do, because we found out these tax bills and stuff, so, yeah, it's right around.
And so what would you guess are rentals or not home?
10%, maybe. What do you think?
How much? 10%?
80 of them.
Well, I do 80 in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you, Ralph, do you do any other communities where they do a rental?
I've done it in other towns,
And
and
what would be the norm for the other towns that you?
Verona was, if you passed, every 3 years.
Yeah.
And it rotated, you know. Um. I did them in Flushing. I don't work in Flushing either anymore, but theirs was every 3 years. Once you got through the list, you know. So,
And you've been doing a lot of this in your lifetime, so what would you recommend? You rank
well,
2,
first of
3?
all, I'm all for it, but I'm 100% against it. Only in that. You have a beautiful rental, and I've been by it 1,000 times, and it is one of the nicest homes in town. And you live in your own home, and it's a crap hole, you know? I think it would be fair to inspect every house, but try pulling that off.
Yeah, that's.
Why does a good landlord get punished? And we're gonna send out a letter, you know, register your properties and come on in. The good ones are gonna be the very first ones in, and beg to get inspected. It helps them in that I went through it and this place is safe. They rented it to me and I trashed it. They got my proof that it was good just
Yeah, that it was
6
good.
months ago, you know? So, yeah, the sad thing is we're gonna fight hard to get the crap holes to even come to us, but we'll get there. I mean, it takes probably 3 years to get through the whole cycle, but maybe not. Like I say, if there's only 10%, that's 80. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, it isn't that kind of point, though. I mean, are you punishing the good landlords, or are you protecting people from the bad?
Yeah, you're punishing the good ones too.
Yeah, well,
I
but,
mean, there's gotta be a fee to do this.
yeah,
but if it's every 3 years and they can break that up over 3 years and.
I don't know, what numbers did you see in other towns?
we're really low, like $55, you know. and
Toronto, when it started, this was several years ago, was 5.
then-
And the reasoning was, the city of Flint did it too at one time. So that your complaint isn't the cost, you know, the only complaint you'd have is. I don't want you looking at my crappy apartment, you know, you can't ever use money as the negative, you know, when it's only $5. I mean, you're gonna lose money at $5, so. Now you gotta think of how your goal is. 50 is a common, 50 a unit.
Yeah.
We don't have any,
That's not gonna kill it, but you know.
we don't have any giant apartment complex, do we?
We do have the one across from those elementary school. That's,
How many
well,
units is that?
not how many units are in that in Doyleville, but that one, not bad. one. Per se.
They're the ones that get punished, you know. One unit is probably pretty typical of the whole building. And if you got 40 units and they're $50 a piece.
I saw a couple municipalities that on units, on multi. On a bigger facility, like it was a percentage, they had to have. Like 10% or 15% of the units inspected every 3 years, because if they're keeping that many of them in good repair, chances are.
The rest of it,
Right.
and that's a good example too. That's true.
Well,
It's a
my-
tough thing to pull off, and you will have people here grumbling. But you'll also have people patting you on the back that I can't tell you how many times I get a call from a tenant that's just desperate to find a place. They move into it on day one, the water heater's been broken, and I've been crying for 4 years to get it fixed, and I still don't have hot water. I mean, that's bottom line. You know, I'm not talking about that there's a bug on the wall, you know, you gotta have water.
Yeah.
Most of these checklists seem like fairly,
There's one I liked actually a lot because it was the simplest one. It was very last of one. And I don't want to take a 5-page sheet in there and. You know, I think it's this one, it was on the back of this one page.
This,
It just says item 3 at the top, rental housing
yep.
inspection checklist. There's a page 32 at the bottom. I don't know what town it's from, but it kind of got the nitty gritty, you know? I've been in them and an old Michigan basement and the water heater is, you know, settled in the dirt, you know? And now the chimney's not connected. I mean, I was terrified immediately. And they fixed it. I mean, they were happy to have that deployed too.
yeah, they might not even know about it.
Right, I don't. I mean, it's not a destructive inspection, so I don't know, you know, behind the wall is the stud rotted out, you know? But you know, looking at a room, it's ceiling leaking, it's the plugs got, you know, wires sticking out of them. I got simple little electrical testers, you can just plug in each plug, it sees if they are working, you know? But it's amazing, after you do it, it's amazing how many are in really nice shape. That's plus, I think. And you would not know driving down the street, that is a rental, I didn't know that. That's as nice as the one right next door, better than the one next door. That's the tough part, to me, to justify. How can we do it to the crappy homeowner too, you know?
Well, and I think that that's where, what we had talked about earlier, getting this property maintenance code, implemented in the correct way.
Mhm.
That the idea behind that is to hold the individual homeowner accountable. But the rental inspections that we're talking about. I mean, there's been a multitude of different complaints. Both about rental properties and personal properties. But just giving something that the city can be actionable with. Whereas, you know, right now our hands are tied, we can't.
Well, that's an issue.
Let's ever look at that, there actually is international property maintenance code that's put out. It's the ICC that puts it out, but the state has adopted it, there's a Michigan International.
Yeah.
Because calling it property maintenance code is. Like later on, I read it's the property maintenance code for the city of Laingsburg. So that is your own code, and it's very heavily this exact same code. But it's all been tested. I don't know how much different it was. But was there any thought in just going after this international code?
So we did use that as, that was one of the things when we started. Drawing up the property maintenance code, that was one of the things that we reviewed heavily, in coming up with it, because it's a huge thing, it's all encompassing, so we use the international maintenance code, and then there was, I know that we used
Some big city.
Grand Rapids to work off of, and then there was a couple, we wanted to get a big range. And try to put something together that was tailored specifically to what would be useful for the city of Laingsburg.
I just got this today when I was here 3 o'clock and went through it. Pretty good. But then I went into the swimming pool, the fencing and stuff. That's dealt with in my building code and things in here was missed, like the gate has to swing out. Can't swing both ways or only in. Actually had a little girl drowned in Corona. It was a pool that had been there 20 years before me. But girl got divorced and moves back with dad and it's got, you know, now grandpa's there, you know, and she's wanting to go visit some friends and grandpa's gonna watch the baby and 2-year-old that went just like they do. And he had actually realized that now we got a little guy in our pool area I'm gonna do everything I can, and literally he did almost everything opposite. The gate has to be self-latching, self-closing, swing out. So the baby leaned against it, it wasn't latched, and out it opened. And they did, we died. So pools are my big thing, and I mean, I guess we can tweak some of these things after they get started. And if we see some more or something. But it's up to you guys.
I think the big challenge was we couldn't even get this one through council last time. This, I feel like we have a much better group. I don't think this is gonna be.
Yeah, That's a bad word.
But, my thought on the rental part of it, if we're going after homeowners who are having trouble keeping up on their own property, but we have people who have income properties who aren't maintaining those. That's not right.
No, I'm 100% for rentals.
And
And I guess I said it negatively when I
Yeah.
first said it. What I'm trying to say is I'm 100% to inspect rentals, but I also think it should be fair to inspect crappy homeowner homes.
Well, we can't get inside of it.
No, you
Yeah,
You just can't get it, no matter what, you
Right.
get inside of it,
yeah, that's fine.
but we can police the outside of the other homes.
Right, and this takes care of that.
Yeah.
We're for a little town called, halfway between Corona and Durand.
Fire. Or no, not fire. Fire,
Is that a fire? Yeah.
yep, the bar, great fish.
Anyhow. They wanted to take the property maintenance code and not go inside. But inspect a drive-through of the whole town, of every house in the whole town. And there might be 100 homes in the town, it's not a big town. And we sent out probably 80 letters, and some were as simple as fix this downspout, or it's a aluminum-sided house, but just paint the, the brick mold around the door. Many of them were that simple. And then every week we go back, and did they do it? Check it off. Did they not do it? Send another letter. And it took a whole summer, and we got 80% to comply. And you might drive through there and not see a bit of difference. I drove through there and saw a lot of difference. I mean, just that little bit made a difference.
That's how I feel about those.
Drive me nuts.
It's like, they just did a little
get
bit.
We used to go there just to get fish.
Yeah.
Not hard.
Yeah, I mean, I mean,
Oakley.
unfortunately, a lot of the rentals are right down Green River.
Mhm.
We have a lot right down, smack down,
Without knowing, I could probably drive on my way home tonight and find 7 of them.
go that way.
Well, we got some issues too.
Yeah.
Well, with what they're getting from it,
Yeah,
there's absolutely no reason they can't keep these places looking decent inside and out.
And if it's better, they probably might get more of it.
yeah.
I mean, the rent's gonna go up. When we charge them to do this,
Mhm.
because they're gonna pass it out to the tenants. So.
Yeah.
My thought was 50-ish or something per unit. The next part of it is, there's kind of 3 steps to this: to get everybody registered. Have them call in and set up a time for an inspection, and then for me to actually go out and inspect it. And depending on how much you want me to do compared to the staff here to help me do, is the difference of the 50 of how much we should charge and how much I should get, I'd like it to be, I'm salary right now, increase the salary to whatever, if there's,
Who they added work.
yeah, 80 inspections in 3 years, there's 25 a year at $20 a piece, that or something, But that's the thing we gotta talk to. I mean, everybody's busy up front all the time, and for them to make these calls and collect the money and stuff, I don't know, they got time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we just that initial will take some time to, get the
Set up.
letters out, do that.
The first letter should go out with an application to register your property. Wouldn't hurt, collect the money too. I mean, you've eliminated 3 letters just in 1 letter. And then they'll call and set up a time, that they inspect. So. It don't take that long. I mean, like I say, I like this one page checklist. You can fly it on that pretty quick.
I think that's Midland.
Well, it is.
Yeah, it is, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's. Okay.
I'm just curious, when you did those regular inspections for that town, how much? So was there a lot of blowback? Did you have a lot of people upset by it?
No. No, not really. I mean, everybody knows of a crappy landlord, and a crappy, daughter's apartment that she's renting, and then I think it's. Easier to get people on our side than
Mhm.
to back the people on that side,
Gotcha.
Some of the things I would do on my inspection, so yeah, there's the next part of this inspection, so it fails, simple. Needs a battery and a smoke detector, we gotta go back and then re-inspect it and set all those times back down. So it's a timely thing to do, all the way through. I would carry 20 batteries for the smoke detector. I just had a little step ladder and I changed them right there in their unit. This is for me to come back, I bought them out of my own pocket too, for me to come back and re-inspect the battery and set that all up, was not worth $1 battery,
Well, I think I did see some contracts too that, like if you failed the first time, you had 30 days to do whatever, but it would cost you if you had to come back. So there's kind of an incentive to try and get it right the first time. I mean, if they get the checklist, then they should be able to check it all off and by the time their appointment is. I mean, I did see a bunch of stuff like that where they give them 30 days, if they didn't pass it. Also, there was incentive to, if you pass, you ain't coming back for 3 years,
Yeah.
So most people wanted that too.
Mhm.
There's a lot of information out there for sure.
Not many will probably pass. I mean, just a simple thing like house numbers, rateable from the street, 4-inch. One of them had 4-inch. More common number in my books are 3-inch, but numbers that you could see,
Well, they did do a push here now. Well, quite a while now, but to get the green letters.
Oh, good.
Back to the fire
Like
department
good.
did that,
Good.
so I know there's a lot of people that have those.
Did they do that for free?
There was some kind of deal they did, I think. I can't remember what it was.
I think it's like $20 or something.
Yeah, you got it,
Sign
the
it,
deal on
stuff,
them,
yeah.
and it was kind of pushed by the fire department.
Yeah, we did it at my old house.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. But I know a lot of people have them now.
I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the bad ones. I just feel sorry for the people that are living in them.
Mhm.
And they're afraid to say something to the landlord, because the second, and the way it's set up, in the building code part. Just because the tenant calls and says, I want you to come out and see my place, it's really crappy. I can't go there without calling the landlord too, or we all three are there. And they're afraid for that, because they're probably gonna get thrown out.
Yeah, I know there's a contract, for something that. You have to have somebody, you. Have to let the tenant know when you're gonna be there, you have to sign off on it.
It is very helpful if everybody's there. So all the answers are at least set at that.
I think it's just a great thing to do, it's just figuring out the best way, and somebody like you help them. Somebody that's got experience with it, will bring help to us. We obviously have nothing.
Yeah.
It probably won't. It won't cost the village and city anything. What you collect is what you spend,
Yeah.
So it isn't, there's a lot of programs that you want to initiate that cost.
Yeah.
Like, let's repair all the sidewalks in town, that costs money. So this is kind of a big even thing. And run it for a couple of years and it's not breaking even,
But
then it goes from 50 to 60. I mean, everything goes up. I'm not expecting that,
Okay, so from what I'm hearing, this something along these lines seems like it would be feasible.
Definitely.
What is, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, at this point, it seems like we're at the point where we need legal assistance, correct?
Well, I think what I can do is, if, you know, like if you guys like the, Midland one, you can take this as an example. And then, you know, this is the process of what we can take it to the council. Which is only, you know, a couple weeks, so they can say move ahead. 'Cause I don't really wanna move ahead unless we get that vote, because if you do all this work, come back and they go, no. It's
Yeah.
for nothing.
So my other question is, so with this, does there have to be then a separate rental property maintenance code, or does this work off of?
I believe so. I believe it's gonna be just kind of like the property maintenance. I'm not.
I would say
exactly-
it has its own ordinance.
Yeah,
It seems like it should, right?
Yeah,
And I
and I
think
know
that's-
Corona was one that I was big on getting started, and I think they're still doing it. They're
Well, and
more than happy to give us a copy of their ordinance.
yeah, I mean, that's where the legal part will be, where we have, you know, make sure we're getting it in an order.
Yeah, I think these are two completely different projects.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, cause I mean, the property maintenance thing, we already got it. And it's, that was the council, and we got it on paper, then we got other stuff.
So you're gonna- Put the tire thing in the paper.
Oh, no, if it's only, if it's over 500 words, you can put yeah.
Okay. So we need to send this as a, I guess. Send this to council and see if this is something that we even want to pursue.
Would recommend this to the city council to review and consider and confirm if they want to move forward.
And then let us and legal
Yeah.
work.
It's technically a planning commission job to do, so it just has to be approved by the council. I didn't want to put a lot of you guys to the property maintenance.
Yeah.
I put some,
I can come to that meeting too.
yeah, for the, yeah. We have expenses there.
So we're gonna move to have council have an open discussion about this as something that the planning commission should pursue.
Yeah, and I'll just use the Midland one as an example of where you're gonna start. Just so they have an idea, a checklist of what, you know, they're. Okay. And then, you know, we're gonna have to have legal representation to make sure that it. And. To public hearing and all that good stuff. Want to make sure that it's written right. Legally, in covering them, but if somebody gets mad.
Well, I'll make that motion. I'll second. And I think that we kind of went through
Yeah, all the other.
3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yep.
Does anybody have any more questions pertaining to this for Rob? Does Rob have any questions?
Do you have any questions for us or any?
Yeah, well, things will work out. I won't be here this coming Monday. I'm usually here Mondays and Wednesdays. And we're going to Maine, Tuesday night, so it's Wednesday and the Monday. But by the next Wednesday, we can start trying to put the numbers together of how many, we could leave a note for, the assessor.
Yeah.
How many non-homesteads do we got?
Yeah, see if they can run a report that just gives us that, and we can probably go through and figure out who's the runners. No, pretty much. I just don't have that.
I think I'm pretty close, how much you throw me.
Probably, but,
I'm pretty close.
yep.
Guesstimation.
Although
The,
units, that'd be 80 properties. It was like the apartments that are out by the grocery store that just closed down. There's apartments there that, how many are in there? That's gotta be 20 or 25 there.
in Looking Glass,
Yeah,
and I don't know if they would actually. Because they're a state, I mean, if they can prove to us that they have to keep, they have, because they get inspected because they're a state funded thing. We might be able to say, we don't have to inspect them because we know the state,
and then you said by the elementary was some too.
yeah, that's
would-
probably the biggest.
How many would you guess are there?
It's like,
It's 2 stories.
Is it 2 stories?
stories, yeah.
2 stories, probably. Probably 12 to 20, I guess.
Yeah, I was to say 20, bro.
Yeah, I
I
guess,
would think,
Each floor.
yeah,
I would think 20 at the most.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then.
Now we're at
Doyle-
40 of.
Yeah,
Right.
You know,
then
But there's
Doyle
really
has like
only, there's really only the 2
10 apartments.
okay.
apartment.
But then there's many 3 units. and-
Well, then,
Yeah.
sure, you think about all those buildings too, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
those.
Old houses that were
Probably
chopped
more
up.
than 10%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all those little apartments.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, gosh, and I don't know, the assessor's gonna tell us how many units. They'll be able to identify which property or parcel number. It's not in the homestead, but then we'll have to
Yeah, which
do
we
our
pretty much
homework.
know all the ones that are above the buildings,
Yeah.
we know who they
Yeah.
are, what they are, what we can pull them, so.
Okay. So by your next meeting, I could have a better number of. And then I think we need to discuss how much am I gonna do and how much is that
Right.
with me.
Yeah. we'll do
So
it.
we'll come up with a number. Okay. I don't think it'll be a negative number, so if you wanna do it. Do it, you know, we'll worry about the. But
I just have some cards if you guys want to pass out. Survey cards or the sheet. Share on Facebook if they're on there.
About 40 guys who golf, but golf is 40 on scramble.
We can still do it, we're running it for a whole month.
Yep.
So,
Give me a
and
good
we had a
start.
really, the first week we had 186. And Mike
I
said
see, I got
that's
mine.
Really
so that's
good
what I got.
for 1 week.
Hey, you can just hand them out at the golf course.
There's a stack, if you live in the city, take.
I don't know, you don't ever do anything up there, so.
Oh,
Hand the cards out. How'd your scramble go this weekend?
Saturday was fine, Sunday was the Sunday morning meeting.
Oh, I saw that right there. Howdy. It's done early, it's just.
Yeah, no, it's not normal.
Played in a few years.
I upset our.
I went down and handed them out at Lee's Park. That's, let's see, pretty good. So. Everyone got one there. Or might give us more.
And this runs through,
I think it's gonna go for an entire month and it started last. 2 weeks. Friday, maybe?
That's more than we had last survey already.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I haven't been out to businesses out there yet, posted on their door, I thought I'd give it a, like a rest and then put them up there. Put them out there on Facebook and stuff, so.
all right,
Yep.
any other items of discussion, anybody have? During this meeting.
I'll make a motion during the meeting.
Well, thanks, guys. I'll come up with something and we'll get rolling on it, you know, as a thought.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you.
I will not be here next meeting. Gonna be on a cruise, sorry, guys.
Like that one's
Gotta work on this one though.
gotta work on the cruise.
Work on a cruise?
Lose it up.
Roadway representative of LSU has to be on the cruise, an alumni cruise.